Hello there, everyone. I hope you guys are all doing great whenever you might be seeing this video. It is currently about 1 a.m. for me, and I just got done work not too long ago, so I'm very tired. Please excuse that if it changes anything about my commentary. So what I want to go over tonight is just one of the newest champions added to the game, which is actually going to be Ultimate Death Knight, which is legendary here in the Undead Hordes. This guy is absolutely fantastic in my opinion and has the potential to change the meta, especially when it comes to the late game arena. And today we're going to go over why. So I know everybody was kind of meh about him from the start. My gearing for this champion isn't anywhere near fantastic by any means. This is the stats I'm rocking: 30k HP, 4600 defense, 153 speed, 302 resistance. And I am also rocking him in a stone set, which is kind of important for what I'm going to showcase today. So let's go through his skills real quick. His A1 has a 30% chance books to 50 of placing a provoke unless they're a legendary, in which case it books to a 75% chance, which is actually fairly decent. His A2 is Rats Off to You, has an AoE with a guaranteed decrease attack, as long as, you know, he doesn't get resisted, of course, with as well a fear on each legendary champion. So both of those are going to 100% chance when it's booked. Get comfy, everyone. The A3 places a shield and continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. The value of the shield is proportional to his defense. This is where it gets very interesting, though. So whenever an ally is attacked, he has a 100% chance of completely blocking one hit, decreasing the incoming damage to 0. This champion will receive that damage instead. The chance decreases to 50% if the attacker is a boss and does not work if the attack on the ally was an AoE. Whenever an enemy is healed, heals this champion by 20% of that heal. Then his secondary passive doesn't really matter a whole ton. He increases his own HP, defense, and speed by 10% for each dead ally. So presumptively that'll stack almost limitless, I guess. Probably in Hydra is where you'd see the most use out of that. The reason this is ridiculous, though, is because I've noticed a couple things. So obviously, if he's absorbing the damage and you have him in a stone set, there is one problem solved. He's not going to be taking really any of that damage from the incoming attack. On top of that, what I have noticed is not only does he take the damage, and not only does he reduce the damage that the other ally is receiving to 0%, he also takes the debuffs that that champion would receive. So how I'm going to showcase that is we'll go into Spider here. I don't think it would, but who knows. I did also change his gear around a little bit, so we'll try and place that provoke out there. Now we're going to go and run in with the A2 instead. So we're just going to go ahead and place the AoE decrease attack. Everybody starts attacking him off the start. That's fine. But you see, when Drex gets attacked, he doesn't take the poisons. And if you've seen it there, the ticks are actually showing on Ultimate Death Knight. So not only is he taking the damage, but he's also taking that debuff that Drex should have got. Because Drex doesn't have the resistance to resist this, whereas Death Knight does. So essentially, you combine that with the fact that you're putting Death Knight in a stone skin set, and you can really start to see how ridiculously overpowered this could be. Because if you look at someone like a Siphi, who on her A1 places asleep if they're above a certain amount of turn meter, right? If she targets anyone on your team, that's just going to get absorbed by Death Knight, and he basically just has block debuffs that's up permanently as long as his stone skin set's on. So he's reducing the damage, not taking debuffs. I made a cool little list here of champions that he counters very well, which would include Mordhau Macabre, Rotos, Siphi, and of course Mountain King. So if we come over here to the arena and we look at the top players, when you start to look at their defenses, you can see there's actually a lot of defenses that are using those exact teams. And obviously, you know, there's other reasons you're using Siphi. That whole sleep on the A1 doesn't really matter a ton, but when you compare... or not compare, when you combine Ultimate Death Knight with a strip in the way of like a Rion or especially a Madame Ceres, then those buffs that Siphi's placing on herself just becomes useless. So your stripper already has taken care of that utility. Then Ultimate Death Knight takes care of the utility where she can actually sleep your champion. Rotos is essentially useless because he is just a single target nuker, so Death Knight's going to absorb all that damage. So if you start looking in here, we have already the top 3 teams Ultimate Death Knight is a very strong counter for. So we got top 4 so far, because to some extent I would say he can counter Candrafon as well, because Candrafon does hit very hard on his A1, so he's going to block that first attack at least. Once we get down here, you can still see champions like Mountain King in here. You can still see champions like Hegemon. You can see, obviously, Sifi. You got Cupidus. He won't really counter because it's an AoE. We got another Rotos here. Champions like Valkyrie on the A1. I haven't actually tested if the decreased turn meter still works. You can already see somebody who's in 14th here has an ultimate Death Knight in their defense. That's what I love to see. But this champion, I believe, is going to be absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to run him against a team like this. This is the comp that I came up with. So we have Yoshi the Drunkard, who I actually did a review on a while ago when this guy came out first, and I said that he was absolutely horrendous. I was very wrong about that. I can admit that. I combined that with Rion the Conjurer. I got Trunda, who I just pulled a couple days ago. This is my first day using her while she's built. And then, of course, Ultimate Death Knight. So I'm going to run this on manual just so you can kind of see what's going on. But their damage dealer and their win condition here is going to be Jintoro, of course, right? Jintoro is just a single target nuker. They might be slow enough that they don't even get to take a turn. So we're going to try something like this. Yeah, they won't even get a turn. So that works very well. Look how overpowered Ultimate Death Knight is. His animations are actually great as well. They're very, very satisfying to watch, that's for sure. My Trunda definitely doesn't do as much damage as she could, but like I say, it's my first day using her. I pushed into getting her into Savage as opposed to whatever other gear set I might run. There's a lot of testing that I want to do with Ultimate Death Knight, though, because, like, for example, when it comes to something in the way of, let's say a ninja, like, and how his attack hits 3 times at random, I am very curious to see if the extra attacks get blocked as well. I don't think they would. We'll try and run a team like this against the Rotos here. I'm running Tatura just so I can get the block debuffs up, which will be very important. I got Rion coming in, of course, to strip everybody off. And you can see that right there. Like, he just completely blocked that hit that came in from Tatura. He blocked the sleep that would have went on her if she didn't have the block debuffs. I'm going to go ahead and hit Rotos here, and actually, let's start off with the A3. So my Trunda does have higher accuracy than she should, so she might play stuns here and there. And I mean, this is by no means an incredible Trunda. And, you know, we almost still one-shot them with a team comp that's this simple. So then we come in here with the AoE, get a fear going up there. They did resist the rest of it. I mean, this is a higher resist team. And we kind of just carry through like this. So you can see, like, he keeps taking, essentially, a lot of the hits here that the rest of the team would take. Like, right there, he's completely absorbing that first hit. This is just an absolutely phenomenal champion. And I think we're definitely going to see a lot more of him as the game goes on. I think we're probably going to lose this match here. I definitely need to take down Sifi. I'll show my gear real quick too, just so you guys can get an idea. Like, my Trunda is very weak, all things considered, and if you had a stronger Trunda, you could definitely go ahead and nuke down a team like this very easily, especially if you had someone like Madame Cerise, where she's actually placing the decreased defense as well. So my Trunda is in Savage, and this is her stats. So 4,400 attack, 179 speed, 230 crit damage, and then as low accuracy as I could with a little bit of resistance tacked on there. According to the power rating, she's very strong though. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments and what you think of this champion. And I know, you know, a lot of people were very kind of hesitant to think that he could actually be a good champion, but I think he is fantastic. I think he has the potential to change the meta in the game. And like I said, I think we're definitely going to see a lot more of him coming out. So I would imagine this Platinum Arena reset, we might see a lot less of champions like Rotos, Mordhau Macabre, Mountain King, Sifi, you know, because all those champions are going to be very easily countered by someone like Ultimate Death Knight, which is kind of crazy to think about that this champion everybody gets as well, right? So I am going to leave another game code down in the description for you guys as well, for who made it this far into the video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.